Alright, we are recording. And, so yeah, we got Alexis Content Update 3, which means we have the new chapter, Arcadian Plains. New bosses, new Fated, which would be the main quest, 10 world quests, so 1 side quest, 7 new dungeons, the player level has been pushed up to 50, new items, all that. Oh, I think I forgot to mention this Titan Quest too. So I'm kinda stuck with the question of, do I want to continue with this character I've been on, who will not be able to access that quickly, or wait, I'm confused now. Oh, wait. Okay, no, this is, I think, who... I actually don't remember now. I'd have to go back and look. I don't think it would be either of these two that were the original streaming character, because, I don't think I would have pushed them up to 45. Definitely not this one. Because I'm uncertain, and already I've been kind of struggling. Do I want, mentally just deciding, do I want to continue with the character that I know can't access that region yet, or go back to the character that will let me? And what I've kind of, I forgot, I'm not sure which one. I think it is GuestJim 1 though. I think it is that one. And actually, yeah, because Tempest to me also suggests, because it was lightning. I want to say I think Earth was was the one I made. So I don't remember. I really don't remember. I need to look it up to find out. But if I do this, then I know I'm safe. But there was also, I have been having fun with this character. I want to continue with this character. I don't want to just like spend some time on the other character to do chapter 3 and then have to come back to this one. I'd rather remain committed to this character for now. So, yeah, sorry, it'll be a while before we get to Arcadian and seeing the centaurs and such. Oh, we might see the boar men. So they've added new things, new enemies, and all that. Okay. Just trying to remember where it is I want to... Okay. I think I will come here and just go over that way and up, pull out this area, then get over there. Oh, wait, that's right. Yeah, no, that'll work fine. That'll work fine. My brain just turned off. I completely lost what my train of thought had been. I'm still trying to think what it might have been. But no, it's just not coming to me. But yeah, I figure I'd rather just keep to this character, because as I said, I'm having fun with them. Okay, no, I will want to go over this way. And there's also that element of, I feel like this guy's more powerful. So, it has also been long enough since I've been on one of the other... Okay. One of the other characters... You know what, I'm gonna go back. I have a reason for doing this. It's a fairly good reason. But that my chances of surviving on this character are going to be better. Because it is definitely a different way to play using the traps, the constructs. Oh, that's right. The Boormen. One of the previous developer logs that they had given was talking about the people complaining about a lack of varieties of enemies, and they were gonna add in new ones with the new with this new update. So that's the centaurs, but the boarmen, they had also made reference to adding some in that would be retroactive. I think the boarmen would be that, and in theory should be in this.
What's the trouble, recruit? Winded already?
Let's take it this time. Nope.
Good.
Okay, yep. That's what I wanted to see.
I've been I need your help. She didn't. I just don't know.
Where's Issa? We were... What? No. It can't... Yes, but we need... But you're a troop when I go...
I'll mark on your map, Stolos.
Okay.
Tell me everything.
I knew it was right by there, so it's like, yeah, I want to go back.
You rabble.
So I can take care of this.
No, you're no fight.
This, by the way, would be one of those world quests. That, yeah, so anyway, it will be interesting to see if we do actually encounter any boarmen or not. Alright. I still don't know the impact of resistances and such, because I mean, actually no. Let's quickly look. Let's quickly look. Do we finally have any like trap stats? No, not looking like it. And it still just says like 74 piercing damage when it's very much not. Yeah, 55, but I'm seeing 200. There. Yeah, 438. When that was saying 75. Yep. Alright, we can head back now. I wish I could think of more to talk. Actually, hang on, there is one more thing, but I need to at least want to get to this first. That's right. There's the debut demo for Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug Wars now available. And oh, this is nice that we actually have some grouping here. It still needs to be a lot better than this, but still. But yeah, that was one thing that when I saw that press release, it was like, okay, yeah, that I can talk about that, but don't really have anything of just dump it. It's like there wasn't that much interesting in it, so
Stolos, go find Issa in Stolos' contract and give it. We'll be.
so I just made a note here to talk about.
It is up to us to rain down.
I think I liked Stolos better when he was drinking.
Issa... She hasn't woken up. Oh, God. Maybe it won't work.
Issa was always the one cheering folks up. When she was Issa made a little...
That's a lovely...
All right. Let's see. Oh! Issa's a...
Don't you dare embarrass me with that story, though.
Issa...
Thank you.
Yep. Right. Alright, let's see about this passive point. Yeah, that's perfect. There. want that more so. I mean, that might be interesting, but I don't throw them down. I throw them down in preparation, not in well, at least I try to throw them down in preparation, not in response. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to, actually, no, that won't tell me anything. I wouldn't want to, put them down to have damage actively done to things around them. That just wouldn't make sense. And they are the source of damage, not the placing of them, I guess is a better way to put that. Very jumbled mess I was trying to say. I'm sorry, I just realized something I should check on. Okay, good. Since the previous recording, I had done some audio stuff on the laptop that I'm recording on, and it just occurred to me I should look to make sure that that didn't mess this up. The only way it could have would be if it messed with the track assignments. Okay, yeah, I want to get over here. It's the idea. I just want to see the best way. Do I want to go up? Can I go just straight left? I can go straight left. Yeah, I may have disrupted, because in OBS you can tell it, hey, record the audio to track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4, track 5, track 6. You can do all that. Whenever you add in a new device, it's just on all of them, and it's like, yeah, that's not what I want. But I want to make sure it wasn't doing something like that. That would then disrupt the normal recording. Okay, I think that is actually an upgrade. Oh, that does count. Okay, well, alright. Yeah, so this will just connect over here, and then I think I will actually head back. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I don't spend that much time on this side of this map, so don't actually remember where things are that well. Hello. Yeah, there actually is a waypoint down here. Oh, I also just remembered something else. I think it was in the notes for this update. Let me look. A lot of people complaining, I did see people complaining about it, yeah, there's, about it crashing at launch. Fortunately, I waited. This is the first time I launched it since the update came out. Let's see, there it is. And it, they were complaining that, it was crashing at launch. That always sucks. But it is in some ways not too surprising, because they actually updated the Unreal Engine version 5.7.2, which is a reason why was a 20 gig download. Yeah, fortunately that was made a little easier for me because I've had the test system running for days, doing some video processing for me. I'm redoing, well, currently it's redoing Star Trek. Next thing I have to redo the Star Trek the animated series, and I already had to do TNG. But because of that, I could just have it on and downloading installing the update there. And then the laptop, just because Steam does that, will pull from other systems on the network. Still took a while though, because 20 gig is a while. It still takes time. There's a part of me saying I shouldn't do this, but I'll do it anyway.
Yes, right here. Hello. Here. Tell me about a great news. Tell me how he wandered and was when cruel fate found his lone upon his quest were those as he drifted to wild and distant shores. He met a winged menace who darkened
Which would be this thing.
and a noble, swift friend from ages. But he was not without power, oh no, for he was blessed with old blood and new.
Actually, no, I guess it would be Nemesis this thing is referring to.
A line cloaked in shadow, divine or dull. A birth steeped in. Will he save the field? Will he help the scholar? His face a mask. Part man, part fish. They come attack in waves, drowning green lands and spilling guilt. You have fought the spawn of doomed sailors. The fishmen, for they're weak, but your journey, your life belongs, and the reward I promised you, a quick death. It is more than you will get from the. Your tale ends here. Your meat will fill my belly.
Yep. Hey, come on. Come on. There we go. Whew. I really don't like that thing. I wasn't sure if I would actually be able to kill it. Well, that easily. Rather, if it would kill me, so. But no, I managed to, so yay! Yeah, because it's a heavy spear that, yeah, that would take out both, so. I think both those together are actually more beneficial. And 25% more activations is a lot more powerful than 19% damaged. So there. Alright. So yeah, head down. We have this area. There's this, but I guess this can wait, because this path does connect up there, so I can't actually ignore it for the time being. Yeah. Yeah, as I said, I've got the test system going through because, just, I don't remember if I talked about this last week or not. Just to see, since I'm better at tuning stuff in, to see if I can get some better compression efficiency. Which for TNG, yes and no, in a funny way. So TNG I already had encoded using X265, and I actually didn't realize I had some stuff on the server I had not so carefully tuned in because I just didn't really know yet all the different tricks. I thought TNG was one of those. Nope, that actually was fairly well tuned in. Okay, so I can't head back. And I tried to get it to tuned in with AV1. Nope. AV1 does not like the next generation, at least not off the Blu-rays. And the funny thing is, I believe it's because the film stock isn't as good as what they used for the original series. Because the original series, AV1 is 5. I didn't realize I had gotten an active point. Back now. Yeah, because the film grain is actually more obvious, is more present with TNG, and it's a film grain AV1 does not like. If AV1 doesn't like it, get the film grain in something, it's just not going to encode it well. And there's next to nothing you can do about that. Aside from let it throw all the bits at it at once. 265, far more forgiving of that. So what I ended up doing was I increased the psychovisual rate distortion, which in X265, which what that means is it tries to do a better job maintaining the energy of a scene, of the image. That doesn't necessarily mean it makes it more accurate, but if you have something very grainy, it'll still look very grainy. It just might not be one-to-one the original, but still, it will look correct. Okay? That's the whole idea with psychovisuals. We can do this. So I increased that, which can have an impact on the bitrate. Doesn't always have to be a large one. And then I changed the encoding mode to be more intelligent, more adaptive, however you want to look at it. And the result actually got me 12 gig. So I didn't change any other setting. The CRF was the same. The preset was the same. No, it just, by changing that one, mainly the one thing, it just would start trying to compress things a little bit better. Wait, if I remember correctly how the AQ mode, that's what that feature is. The feature that I changed. It is basically just, okay, where should I prioritize maintaining detail? And I changed it to setting to its 4th setting. Yeah, no, I gotta use something like that. Yeah, changed to that, and it starts saving me bitrate without compromising on quality though. And I was checking, not necessarily like every episode, but I was comparing back and forth and finding that nope, that this is actually still looking very good, or even a little bit better, which I would attribute that to the psychovisual increase there. So that was awesome. The original series is going a little bit slower because it's AV1. AV1 is slower to encode. Okay. I just want to check. I do need to go down and over. Which means going through places like this. But no, it just, looking at it, the original series legitimately does have a finer grain profile, which AV1 likes, than TNG. It's actually very weird, because you'd think that something made 2 decades later, when they were given a budget of $1 million an episode, or what, it was $1 or $2 million per episode. You'd think that would have better film stock. Apparently not. Alright. There. There. Maybe we should remember to come over here and do some stuff. Although that actually doesn't matter too much. That maybe. There. But yeah, so I do find that surprising, but the result is the TOS is looking, well, and TNG also looks better, but TOS is also looking better, either because it is actually preserving the detail better, or AV1 is just artifacting in a way that makes it look like detail is being preserved. That is a real thing, by the way. That very much is a real thing, especially with AV1 in my experience. that's not actually preserving the detail. It's just artifacting in a way that makes it look like the original detail. But if you do like pixel peeping kind of stuff, you see, no, it's different. No, so that it is looking better than 265. That I had done before is smaller, despite having to add another audio track to it. Because Jellyfin has this, well, at least Jellyfin to Roku. Actually not sure if it's to the Fire. But anyway, there's this weird and annoying issue that I only have a 5.1 system. The Star Trek is using 7.1. All the Star Trek series, well, broadcast Star Trek, so that's the original series, well, not the animated series, but the original series, TNG, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager are all 7.1 on their discs. But not Enterprise, that, as I recall, is actually 5.1. But Jellyfin is not able to send AV1 with 7.1 audio. Well, it is not able to just downmix the audio to 5.1, which is all my sound system can use. It's not able to do that and keep the AV1 video stream. It has to convert it. And I think when I'd seen, because the bug has been reported, people looking at it, and I'm pretty sure what it was basically saying is that, yeah, the stream, the container that would stream the video in is not, it doesn't support AV1 in that way. So, in order to satisfy that issue, I have, I just have it also encode 5.1. So it does does down mixing. I've FFmpeg do the down mixing for me. So we've got 5.1 and 7.1 there. It's because I keep the original audio track regardless. And yeah, so I actually have more data in the file, but it's still working out small. Which is pretty neat.
Stand strong, my friend. Put the fear of mankind. I think they've given up. Gave them something to be afraid of, didn't we? You and one of the gillheads killed me, then stole my fishy. If you find any, thank you. I look forward to good luck out.
I know that's up there, but I want to head over here first. So yeah,
Wits about him that Aristomenes and his ilk in the graveyard didn't he? Perhaps he escaped the underworld before he drank from Lethe, the river of forgetfulness.
So yeah, right now it's going through the original series Star Trek with the original effects, because that is what I prefer, but I am thinking what I will do, because I've got a 20 terabyte hard drive that I back this stuff up to. I'm thinking I will also reprocess the CG versions as well of the original series, and just keep them on that, so that I have access to them whenever I want, more or less. But without that being what I would actually have on the server to watch. I'm sorry, but the CG in those Star Trek remasters looks just so my nephew did in the garage over the weekend kind of quality. And it's very frustrating when you consider that that was something they could have spent all the time they wanted to on, and they could be very confident they would make money. But they didn't do that compared to like Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine and Voyager both make heavy use of CG, and both look better. So yeah, it sounds like the Defiant what in Deep Space Nine was the first, at least first main Star Trek ship that was not a physical model, that was only a digital model. And yet it can be right next to the space station, which was a physical model, like that they just composited it in there, and it looks like it belongs there. It fits in perfectly. That is very impressive, and not at all what they were achieving. You could not put the original Enterprise from the show next to what they really next to the CG version, and feel that the CG version looks like it fits. Wait. Ah, damn it, I hit the wrong one.
Don't worry. If you need goods, admitted, but as soon as that...
One thing that was interesting, though, because I was doing some comparisons just because I could, I was a little curious. And it did actually look like they did other tweaks to the visuals but when they were doing the CG remasters, and that no, that can't be because of how it's on the disc. I don't know then why when I was looking at it, it seemed like colors had shifted a little bit. Maybe I'm just remembering the wrong thing. Maybe I was comparing to something else.
You looking to buy a bow?
I guess we got to do that.
Need something still?
Those are already complete.
One at a time, please. One at a time.
And it's treasure to talk to the kid. Oh well, I can wait. I mean, technically this mission is turned in, but talking to the kid that gave you the mission, I think it's a good thing to do, and should be included as part of the mission. I thought that there would be also some guys down here. It is interesting. It doesn't seem like we're getting the visuals marking this stuff. Oh, that... No, it is fitting. Okay. I had noticed this after one of the previous updates. That's at this resolution. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why the... Yes. Why this stuff is there, but, because this is going out at 1080, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, but it is being scaled, so I'm not, like, losing things because of that. It just occurred to me that one thing I can finish saying, I guess, is an appropriate way to put it. Part of the reason why because the film grain I was talking about with TNG is not something that AV1 likes. Do I have Molly leaving here? Yes, I do. Okay. Like, it's kind of large and even a little disruptive to straight lines, which is odd and unfortunate. But a reason why 265 would be better for that than AV1 is that when AV1 really likes taking blocks in the images and just scrubbing the detail out of them, like trying to have it just be an average of the an average of the color, which if you do that with film grain, that stands out because now you have suddenly one block that has a color different than everything around it. So you need to tell it to, nope, you have to preserve all that little detail in there, but I mean, basically, AV1 is designed not to like film grain. I think that's part of the reason why they came up with film grain synthesis, is that they know it's very much a weakness. But 265, it is better with film grain, but it's also just, the way it blocks is different, such that you have to like really starve it to have noticeable bit starve it in order to have noticeable blocking like that from just film grain. But AV1 is designed around it, so at least that is how it seems to me with how it encodes. Which is why, if you are like me and try to have a server going with Jellyfin or similar, and try to get all your physical media on there, and you want to process it so it takes up less space, you gotta experiment. You have to get in there, try different encoders between like AV1 and 265, and you have to know settings in there as well to just try to get it to be what you want it to be. It also reminds me of something funny when I see people talking about their experience tuning in AV1 or just recommendations. They're like, oh yeah, I use a CRF at like 20 or 25. And I'm just like, a lot of my stuff is at 40 and looks fine. Like, looks actually quite good in some cases. But it's also they're only talking about CRF though. I'm going in there and I'm tweaking psychovisual rate distortion. I'm tweaking the SPI rate distortion, which is a different psychovisual algorithm. Tweaking noise normalization, tweaking the variable boost, the variance octile. Crap, what else am I tweaking? So this says in my experience for other things as well, that when you get into that tweaking, you can find that you can go to a lower CRF, which is lower average quality, I guess is a way to put it. Or rather, the lower average quality target. And it works because the other settings will, the things that need more bits, you're telling it, yes, throw more bits there. So Yeah, that is one reason why. So scenes that are not that complex, if you really turn up the COF, well, turn down. If you turn up the target quality, then you may start. You can have run into diminishing returns issues. Now that's worth it. Okay. But by keeping the CRF where it is, so it's and then tuning the other stuff, it's you're pushing up where it needs it, but then the places that doesn't, you can stay low. But it doesn't mean it always works, and sometimes, nope, just go back to 265. Which can also have the benefit, 265 can be faster than AV1. It depends. Yeah, okay. I did not even realize there was something right there. There. I really wanted to pick that up. Yeah, this will come down and connect there. So let's do that. Also do that to if I have that equipped, it's a bit more damage for me, even though the amount of damage for the summons will be the same. Yeah, and the other character, the one I've been playing on my own, when I have the time at least, I actually found, what was it? Was it 41% damage, or was it 41% more activations? I don't remember, but it was one of those, I am not going to find something better than this. Perfect. Waypoints are always handy. Here's last one. There's also, going back to the AV1265 stuff, there's also, if you, it has been my experience that if you are working with DVDs, that you should check, but that 265 is better. And I think it's just because 265 and DVDs use MPEG 2. They're both MPEG codecs. I do believe that it handles that better. Alright. That. Wow. That's... Thank you. That was clipping for me. Like, that was not just, like, the audio compressing badly. That was, in fact, badly compressed audio. Yeah. But yeah, and I think it is just, like, the artifacting that MPEG 2 can experience is sufficiently similar to what 265 expects to work with and will produce itself, that things just line up. Not the case with AV1. Oh man. I'm sorry, what lousy timing on when that thing broke. All because it was shooting when it should not have been. Oh well. There it is. Okay, so just down and over here a little bit. There. Oh, I also just, you know what? I can look at that. I can look at that before wrapping this up. In fact, I want to, for another reason. Just remember one thing. Is that actually in here? Not seeing it mentioned in the patch notes, but I had seen it mentioned elsewhere. And people mentioning it when the changes. I'll show it to you later. And I have reason to visit the location that it's relevant at. I know, I'm just not being helpful at all. But I was just thinking about how this doesn't seem all that difficult at the moment because Forge is that powerful, and they didn't make any changes to its balance, it looked like. Which if that means that this is where they wanted to be, I'm good with that. I just hope that all the things all the masteries end up becoming tuned to match this, because this really is powerful. In a very satisfying way. And it's not like I'm just invulnerable. No, that's definitely not the case. I do need to be careful. Like that one boss, the optional boss I beat, almost killed me. That legitimately was close. But it's just I find this very satisfying, more satisfying than the others. Except for lightning, but that's mainly because of the new basic that you can get in that. The new basic attack. Because that thing, oh, that's very satisfying to use. There's probably a reason why on the other character, the Forge character that I've been doing on my own time, it is lightning and that in Forge. But there is the kind of important catch. I can't put... I can't really build up the guy's personal attack, because it's not relevant for the character. I have to focus on the Forge stuff, but which also means I can't focus on gear for to improve the damage. And that's where it gets kind of wonky. So yeah, even though I've got the very nice attack that'll just clear, that in theory can clear entire areas, the damage is too low to be useful. It's still a very satisfying attack, but it's useless compared to these guys.
Nobody but Ichthians is...
I don't want to sell that.
Suppose I'll have to pack off to Pagos.
Oh, what was it?
If the Ichthians don't get me.
I still don't know exactly what the idea is for this thing. Okay. Guess nothing. I mean, sometimes it does give you stuff. I don't think it's ever happened when I was recording, but I have seen it drop stuff. But I don't know what it is that convinces it, that triggers it to drop something instead of not. Because it's like patience, and I've tried just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing happens. So it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that then. Okay, I'm trying to remember which way, because I think that they all lead to the same place. It's just they take slightly different routes getting there. I don't want to spend too much more time, although there is a waypoint up there. It makes sense to just head to that. Yeah, I'm not so pressed for time today, so going for the hour isn't so bad. Actually, might be that the waypoint is right there. Alright. And there's also a thing a little north of it. I think what I will do, though, is I'm just going to clear out the map. Oh. Nah, screw it. Let's do it anyway. Hit this and then clear out the map below. I mean, as I said, I got the time. I actually do have the time today. Oh, come on. I did hit it. Because you need to get both of those up at the same time. But I know I hit that. Anyway, let's get in here. And soon some Simon. But they also, well, no, it may spawn enemies later. Here it is, okay. There we go. No. The bonus to might, I think, is going to be worth it there. Plus, I'm not really attacking with this. So I don't need a better weapon. The fact that the number of bonus activations is the same. The main thing that matters is not going to be impacted. The trap specs are not changing, so... Or might actually change worse. I'm not sure if the traps have anything based on might. Or anything else for that matter. Okay, come on, there we go. So neither of those all that interesting. Ow. take me to Pyrgos. The stuff I want is there. Is there anything I'm not selling? Yeah, I want to hang on to that, I think. Hang on to that too. You know, that can be hung on to also.
Need something stored?
Yes, this is better. There. Now, the thing I wanted to show is at the altar up here, or shrine. Oh, wait. I guess I do also have these things turned in, don't I? Yeah, because that was the last commander that I killed. So yeah, we can turn all this stuff then.
I'm a little busy right now. You took care of all of them. Without their commanders, you have the soul of a spot.
Okay.
Going hunting? Oh, dear.
And that's just for turning in the Knights of Embers, which I don't want to spend at the moment. I can also talk to the kid, who's right over there. And then we'll go to the altar or shrine, whatever that is. I don't quite remember which is labeled as.
We wouldn't have made it out. We were fishing at the secluded beach. Everyone started panicking. If he died, what am I...
Yep. Yeah, I want to turn in the
Did the Oracle give you...
Hippo Cantus, whatever the thing is, want to turn in its remnant. Let me show you something else. Ritual Shrine, okay. There. Hippo Cantus. But there's also this. Oh wait, no, that's not. Here it is. Yep. You can now have that up to plus 20. Previously, that was at plus, could go up to plus 5. So if you want to make it more difficult, that's where you go. It isn't cheap, but that's where you go. And yeah, I do find it interesting. I don't recall seeing that in the patch notes, but I did see people talking about it. Which, I mean, I don't really want to push it up that high, although I will grant that with how powerful Forge is, maybe. It's not that unreasonable. Not as unreasonable, I should say. But, so. Huh? This is console news, so I won't be writing that, but what is it? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. But yeah, so if you do want it more difficult, that's where you can go, and there are definitely people happy about that, because there are some people that are that good at games. I guess it's like, yeah, plus 20. Oh yeah, I can totally handle that. Anyhow, but no, the piece of news that just came in that I had to look at. I had to think about. Kingdom Come Deliverance is launching on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Existing owners get free, and does have current gen upgrade. So yeah, it should look better, run better, all that kind of stuff on there. So cool. That's definitely cool. Alright. I shall see you next week when continuing with Titan Quest 2.